and I did a 40-minute mega mix of all the Magnatune music that I could jam into the 40 minutes. And I figured that that would make me relatively irresistible to Magnatune. If I just handed them a 40-minute mix of their own music, they would have to sign me. That's pretty much how it happened. Now I just released a second album of mixes of Magnatune artists. This time I worked a little more collaboratively up front. In other words, I contacted the artists and asked them for a cappella vocals and individual instrument tracks. And so the new album is actually a remix based on those kinds of tracks. So I also, I probably should also mention that I'm a guest blogger on the Creative Commons site. They have a lot of expertise in the legal world, a lot of expertise in the written word, but the music and the sampling part is kind of new to them. So they asked me to keep my eyes out for interesting audio and music Creative Commons happenings in the world. And whenever I see something, I nab it and I post it on their weblog. Larry Lessig, as far as I understand it, is one of the founders of Creative Commons. He's sort of the legal brains behind it all. People like me need Larry to explain to the legal world and to the world of patents and copyrights and all that why Creative Commons is such a great idea. He's also done a fantastic job at explaining to the commercial world why it's interesting and how they really don't need to see it as a threat, and in fact just the opposite. It could be a boon, especially for up-and-coming artists. I've remixed Larry, I can tell you that. His speeches make for great remix material. You know, they're all covered under Creative Commons as well. So, you know, spoken word is always a big part of the remix community. So, you know, he always has fascinating things to say in very concise, friendly ways of saying it. So he makes for great remix material, I can tell you that. Other than that, I think, again, the most important part of Larry's contribution, besides founding the organized part of it, making the whole thing into giving the whole thing a structure, is being the official academic voice of what the rest of us are trying to do and trying to accomplish.
So who is Gilberto Gil, and why did you, what was the context in which you heard about it, and how exciting is it? What did it mean for you?
Well, I've been a fan of his music for a long time, and it was extremely exciting when the Creative Commons folks and him hooked up. To be honest, I don't know how that happened. I don't really care how it happened. But once they hooked up, Gilberto was instrumental in moving forward the sampling part, the music sampling part of the Creative Commons licenses. Because up until then, as musicians, we would look at the Creative Commons licensing, and there was a clear bent toward the written word, a clear bent in the first version of the licenses for the first year or two. It could be stretched to include photography and other media and music as well, but the sampling licenses, which he spearheaded, I know that he was instrumental in spearheading